G Met, how's that, man? Brand new song.
You met. It's awesome. I was
Yeah,
rocking out on the intro.
hell yeah, dude. Well, I cooked on that for several hours. I'd still change it, but I dig it. But how you doing, brother?
Good. Good.
Good.
A little bit of a slower week, I'd say, but
Yeah,
still stuff to look at, still
right
stuff
on.
to
Well,
play.
it's good to see you again, man. And welcome to everybody out there. Thanks for joining us today on the stream. To Heavy Metal Crime. Lots of stuff been happening out there in the spaces. Actually, um, there was the Solana ecosystem call came back. I don't know if you caught that.
I
Uh,
did not see it. I
yeah, it
did
was
not.
run by the Soul Brothers. Well, it actually happened at the exact same time as the last Med LP Army community call. So
Mm,
brilliant and cheers. But there was actually a shout out during that of the Meteora, the new terminal that they got, the new UI. So that was kind of cool. Um, and let's see, there was also some other like uh, cool stuff that got put out there on the ecosystem call. Just showing this right here,
hmm
this sick pendant out there made that you could get from Solana Spaces. Um, it's like custom made by this silversmith by KRZ. This dude is so awesome, and he's actually the one who made this. Let's see if I could get it where you guys can see it. This
Oh yeah, I
custom,
see that.
yeah, pendant. Well, this is a Meteora one. He made a bunch for the Jupiter folks, but it was totally sick. So
That
you
is
guys
sick.
go check that stuff out. It's limited edition roll on that, but it's like some really badass art um, out there that I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah,
But yeah, anyway, what's going on, Hector? Always good to see you, dude. And
Photon,
Photon Magic,
Garav.
what's going on, guys?
What's up, guys? Yeah, I saw the I always use like the Edge Meteora
Yeah.
version, so the lines were like the new bin lines. I've always wanted that, so
Oh
I'm
yeah.
glad that the general users on the default link are now able to experience that. I think that's really helpful for just people, especially beginners that don't really know where their pool is at.
Oh yeah.
Makes it super
It's
useful.
super helpful. I mean, for me, I was even like because sometimes I want to draw on the chart and then I'll go and translate that. And for me, it's just like okay, click, drag, boom, enter my position. It was a highly requested um feature for a long time, and that's just like one of the awesome things about Meteora is like the team, they listen to the feedback and they ship. Man, I can't tell you how many pieces actually in the UI that I myself directly requested. We're like, hey guys, like, can you do this? We're like, this doesn't work, or can we have this? And they would just ship it for us, man.
Yeah,
So that's totally sick. So they're just like totally goaded team doing that stuff for us,
they
man.
really are. They really are. Yeah, I'm sure so many other people had the same idea, but the bin lines, that was like I had that idea from like a year and a half ago when I first started using it. I was like, that would be awesome, but I'm sure, other people kind of thought the same thing, but
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah. Well, it's a Sunday, man. So let me ask you, and new thing that we're trying here is what is the big crime of the week? What is the absolute mega rug out there, and
you want me
what
to
could, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, doing the new segment. We're just gonna go over I I I guess this chart is crime that I'm looking at, but I think we could also kind of throw in any play that I assume a lot of people got wrecked on. And I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen here. I guess we can get into it. Is that fine?
Yeah, yeah, let's
Sweet,
do it.
sweet. Okay. Let's see here. It is the crime of the week. This week is going to be the 7 token, the 7 wonders. So, I'm sure you guys had seen this. It kind of fell into, and there's another one actually that I wanna pull up as well. But these are the tokens that I kinda classify as they have a big kind of news story. For example, I assume you guys kind of know the lore. If you don't, it's about 7 dogs that escaped like the dog meat factory or something like that. But it turned out the whole story was like a lie. I was,
Mm,
um, and so just showing you guys kind of what happened here, and a lot of the kind of news story charts, they get a lot of attention, a lot of volume at first, and it's fine to play if you're able to get in on even this first kind of trough and bounce. Um, but as you can see, this thing ended up going very, very low. And I actually got wrecked on this, and I really hate to admit it because this is not something that I would usually like bid, but I saw so many people playing it, and um I honestly got like I didn't get FOMO, but I was like, I'm gonna see so many people posting P&Ls for this token. I'm just gonna play it for a little bit, and then I got out of range and took a pretty hefty loss on this one. Actually,
oh man.
another another loss for the week. But yeah, as you can see, going 90% down on this would not have kept you safe, no matter what. Sometimes, unless you end up going super, super low, but that's just not usually feasible.
Right.
Percent is usually what I'm recommending to people, and, yeah, it just fell out. Not a strong bounce, not really any relief here for you to get out. And I'm also gonna show you guys, I'm sure some people in the chat played this one. Pixelization, I didn't play this, thankfully, because I didn't know this was gonna happen, but I had, kind of like a insight that this is something that was a possibility just because basically the White House Twitter account posted this picture, I believe, of Donald Trump, and, it's a White House tweet, so it gets a bunch of volume, a bunch of attention, but after it's kind of like the thing, even though 7 was a little bit different because this story was entirely made up, it's kind of the thing where it's a cool story at first, gets a lot of attention, but then you have to think, are people really gonna care about pixelization? Like, are people gonna care about this meme in,
Yeah,
2 or 3 days from now? Which, as you can see,
they
I
didn't.
don't think anyone cares about this.
Yeah, I lost $22 on that one. That was one I was like, I was messing with it, and then I was like, you know what? I noped out of it. Um, it was not worth it to me to lose a whole sack of money. But yeah, for real,
Yeah.
man. I
Um, mhm.
Oh, I was just gonna say, not to brag on this, but um, I actually on on 7, I actually made money.
Oh, no.
28%, dude. It took a couple hours, but I got out pretty quickly, and I
Here, let
was
me
like,
go back to
I'll dip my toe back in, but then it just like it was going to shit, and so I said nope, 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 and got out of that. So it looked like it was a good call because that
Yeah.
was some crime.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if this was, like I guess the crime here is that it was just kind of like a LARP story, it wasn't actually real. I'm not sure if insiders were actually unloading or if people just realized it was a fake story, so everyone sold, but regardless, that is
Yeah, no, for real. I mean, and that's the thing is like as soon as you hear it's like, oh, the story's fake, or even like if someone deleted a tweet, man, that's whenever you start seeing that big giant red candle.
Yep, and then,
Have a bad day.
do you want me to go over just kind of some of the recent plays that I think don't look awful before we bring in our special guest?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, yeah. Let's do it.
so I was looking at when I actually did a stream for the Meteora PH community yesterday, and I think I think Sinagster actually was playing this one. He called it out to me, and I set up a pool. I didn't really get much action on this. I set up a pool like probably like right here, and got like a little bit in fees, but just kept going up. If you manage to chase this chart up, I think it would have done pretty well. I don't. Here, let me make sure this is actually what the chart looks like. Oh no, it's not. Okay, that's a good thing I refreshed. So if you're able to chase this up, this is not something I actually don't know what the meme is, but I like the aesthetic somewhat. I know that's not like really concrete, but in terms of the volume, in terms of the price action, if you were in this, it probably would have done well. Not saying to enter it right now, but this doesn't look bad. If you guys can see the difference between 7 and Pixel, you see how these are really early tokens that end up running to like 1.4 mil. This went super high. This went to 4 mil. These this token, it goes to 400K, comes down, consolidates, and then runs back up. I tend to like these plays a little bit more. And also Lost is kind of pump, like I don't know if you guys have been seeing the copy pasta on Twitter about pump fun ruin my life. Kind of like the old copy pasta of last cycle where it was like, that's it, I'm done. I'm never just depositing another $5,000. You remember that one?
Yeah.
So I didn't mind this one. I didn't get too much exposure. I actually haven't been. If I was on my computer the past 2 days all day, I definitely would have been chasing these up with positions because I don't mind them at all, and I don't think they would rug to zero in a day. Obviously, always possible, but I think the odds on those are a little bit better. So that's all I got. White whale. This is actually interesting. This is the last thing I'll bring up before we move on. I don't know if you guys saw this, but White Whale locked like half of his supply or something for like 6 years. Or I don't even know how long it was. Whenever
Wow.
that people just started absolutely unloading. Don't know why, but you can see this is just abnormal, absurd volume here. And I ended up setting up a pool here. I went wider on this. I mean, I went tighter on this than I usually do. Like I didn't go minus 90% on this just because I didn't think it was going to rug to 1 mil. I thought it's obviously very volatile during this. It went from 26 mil down to 7 mil, but I opened a pool like around 14 mil, I think down to 6 mil, like a 60% range, and just went actually all spot here, which I also don't normally do, but I just loved all of the volume coming in. I thought the fee generation was good, and I just got out for like a 1 sol win on this one. So
Nice. Yeah, I remember this one being touted as, like, oh, this is the long term runner and what have you. And it was for a while. It ran for a good long while. Uh, of course, people were talking about it like it was, like forever, which is something that's important to note. It's like nothing's forever. I remember LPing Uranus for months, and that's there's so many jokes in that one, but I made so much soul off of that until I didn't. Right, and it went to crap. But I still profited and got out of there, and so it was all good. But yeah, that I think something here that it's important to mention. We don't mention this enough. Is ULP and you have a strategy and you're looking at, it's like I'm looking at this market cap or that market cap, or this is what I'm looking for. The market's always changing and you have to adapt. Like right now, 200K market cap is like what just a couple months ago, maybe a 2 million was, right? Or something like that. And things change. Sometimes things might rug faster or in a different way. And so, as an LPer, you have to learn how to adapt, because doing the same strategy it doesn't always apply.
Yep.
But anyway, I think, did you have anything else you wanted to add to this?
No, I'm good to go. I was going to answer Supremor question. He says, what do you mean by chasing up positions? And basically on, what were we giving that example on? So on Umi, for example, I made my first pool like back here on the chart. When I say chasing positions, I am only going bid side. So if the chart goes up, then I'm instantly out of range. So chasing positions by my definition is when the chart is going up, your pool is down here, the price is up here. You can close this pool and then set up another pool up so that if it dips down, instantly you're back in exposure. So basically, yeah, just chasing positions up means opening new pools so that you are again right here at current price for it to come down into. And then if you have your pool right here and it comes up to here, right, you close these positions, open a new one so that you're just chasing the price up.
Right. Okay, cool. Well, guys, I we have a very special guest this week. And we're gonna bring him up. Um, excuse me. We have none other than the legend Tiagogo. He helps run that French community. He is streaming. Tell us first, Tiago. First, how are you doing, my brother?
GMet guys, so happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Absolutely love having you here, man. And it was really cool to meet you in person. And he gifted me this beautiful bottle of Chimay, a Trappist ale from Belgium, which I'm actually going to open right fucking now.
Yeah.
I have been saving this shit for a good occasion, and there's none other than this one right here. Pop the cork.
I'm honored you're opening it just in front of me, so that
yeah.
That's good.
Give it glass.
Oh, with the glass.
Yeah, the official Chimay glass, man, right here.
Yeah,
So
you've got the goods.
it's a little bit after noon here for me. So, but as they say, you can't drink all day unless you start in the morning. So, cheers.
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 But anyway, so first, I see you've been doing some streams out there in French. Tell us first, like, what's going on in the French community. Tell us about your streams. Show your bit. What's going on?
The French community is cooking at the moment. Like I think we have a huge community now. We've been mainly on the Discord. It's called the Diggers Discord. So I think it's the most active Discord, and it's a Discord general like Web3, but we have different channels. And the Meteora channel is the most active channel of the Discord, and there are like 6,000 people on there. And now so it's I think these guys, they all come from like the meme coin space, and they are like doing and buying, trading 10K market cap shit coins. So they know the meme coin space. And when they've been all losing during this whole bear market now, I was like on their channel. So they call it the Soul Shitcoin channel. I went there and I said, guys, like if you come to Meteora and you LP instead of just trading, maybe you'll be profitable. And some of these guys, they've switched and they've been on the channel. And they've been grinding, man. Like they've been grinding crazy, and they've been making money like crazy. So I was so happy. I was like, okay, this is getting good. Let's do some streams. And it's always the same guys coming on streams and making money with me, like giving good calls on the coins. But man, these guys, they're like surgeons. They know everything, and they know every detail, every narrative. They know it. And nice. It's been very, very helpful. But I'm really happy to do these like streams, and I'm learning every day, because these guys, they come on chat and they teach other guys, and they teach me also. So, I'm mainly also like focusing on explaining. I like education. That's how I started doing content as well, and actually also being onboarded by Razir. So yeah, Crime, that makes he's the goat. So he's been inspiration really. And then, just making money on streams with these guys. Honestly, it has been a great, I want to say, almost 2 months. Like from MedDabi, after just a little bit after, I've been doing these streams. And now every Friday, normally I'm on stream to finish off the week. And my concept is like the Friday beers, you pay them with LPing. That's
nice. I love it. I love it. So, and people can catch that on your X or the official Meteora French.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm streaming on my YouTube channel as well, my X and my my Meteora France. Well, I say my Meteora. We're running the account on with 3 people. So now also on the Meteora France.
What is your
YouTube channel?
What is your
It's Tiagogo underscore underscore FR. So I think
what is it?
Tiagogo underscore FR, like France.
Tiagogo underscore FR. All right.
You will find it. I think my most watched video has been like the basis of Meteora. And if you look at this video, it's like, I don't know, almost, I don't want to say 2 years old, but almost. And it's like the OG Meteora interface. So I'm proud to say that it's there. It's still the white interface
white
that
mode.
burned your eyes.
Oh yeah. No, I remember. And I'll probably, it probably tells my age, but like I grew up with that, on computers. So like, it never bothered me. Cause like once upon a time, dark mode wasn't a choice, like on anything, you just had the big old CRT monitor blasting your face, and that's the way it went. But so somebody's actually got a great question here. Is there any way to see your recordings with English subtitles or translations?
We've been working on it. So because we have Shaman, he's mainly making like the content on X. He's like the marketeer and the I want to say the content creator, making all the how do you say, the representations, and he's trying to cook a way to translate the clips, because we've been also like shipping some short form content. And we want maybe to put subtitles on it and also translate the lives, because I've seen Crime has been translated in Chinese, which looks crazy. And I was thinking, it's so maybe we'll do it in English, but I'm not sure. We have to try. But Shaman is working on it, I think. But
I've seen that. I've been surprised. Like somehow I learned Chinese and Russian and became extremely fluent in Spanish. Yeah, but AI is amazing these days, what it can do.
And it follows like the lips. It syncs with the lips. When I saw that, I was like,
I couldn't believe that.
Right, he can speap Chinese. Like, that's crazy.
I showed my parents that, and they were like dying laughing.
That's awesome. So, man, have you had any good plays or good tips, or like what's your current strategy right now?
So my current strategy, I want to say maybe the one I use the most is very similar to the Evil Panda strategy. So, I think since MedDabby, it has been the strategy that was working for me. Just playing very wide. I'm always the wide guy. I always open minimum 90%, and usually works for me. So, a big dump and then recovering a little bit of a rebound, and then you end up in profits. Recently, it's the meta is changing like every month, and now March has been drier than January, February, which were really, really good months actually.
Oh yeah.
But I think something that's been playing also in the French community last 2 weeks has been more quick in and out plays. So quick in and out plays, but also like using spot strategy, classic, soul only, not buying any token, and just staying for 5 minutes, but then you really have to find the volume play. So you really find the place where the volume is there. And we've been using a tool also that a guy has developed just to find the good pools. And we pray every time that these plays happen that we have a 5% or a 10% pool, because we've been really, really sometimes frustrated by the 1% or the 2% pool. When these volume plays on 100K shitters that are there, and you see that a guy has opened a 0.8 or a 1% pool, we're like, come on, man. Like,
bro, you're killing me.
Why do you like to lose money? Like,
right? Well, and for me, this is what I've been looking at, and I'm actually gonna turn off the damn V2 here right now. But just like looking here, like I'm coming here, and I'm usually looking at 30 minutes, and I start by sorting by fees, and usually there's something up here that's got like 1,000 or somewhere close to that, but those are becoming even rare. And like So sometimes, like right now, perk $657 in fees, and right now you're kind of like, okay, that's the runner. Is it really a runner? Well, 2 months ago, absolutely not. But it's like, well, that's as good as it gets. So, and I mean, of course, there's spikes, but
If you would have told me that I was going to LP 100K market cap, 300K market caps, I don't know. Like before,
yeah,
it was no way I would LP that. It was like almost just minimum 1 million or above. But now,
right,
yeah, it's a struggle. And like you said in the beginning of the stream, like the 200K now is the new 2 million. Maybe it's too much, but yeah,
right.
we have to really really dig for the tokens. So it's really hard. Actually, also for new people, it's becoming a bit riskier, and that's why these high percentage base fee pools are so important,
Oh
because you
yeah,
don't lose money, and that counters the impermanent loss. And the people trying to undercut the fees, maybe otherwise, or they are bots, maybe opening the pools, or they just don't really understand. And that's why it's so important to explain to them that they should open only 5% or 10%. 10% pools are a cheat code. Like
yeah.
it's insane, the print,
It's gonna save your
the
ass.
10%. Yeah.
Well, and I mean that's the thing. I mean there is a certain point when a lower fee pool does make sense, but
Yes.
that's like the token. It starts becoming more well established. Maybe it rises in market cap. Maybe the volume and the volatility start to go down because if you've got something that is going sideways, 10% pool doesn't make sense because maybe it's only moving 2-3% up and down at a time. That's whenever that stuff makes sense. But like, don't shoot yourself in the foot. If you're gonna do fresh shitters, don't shoot yourself in the foot and make some ridiculously low fee pool. It's just you're not doing anybody a favor, right?
Yeah.
So absolutely, dude.
Yeah, it's really a protection for the LPers, this fee, and this, of course, this insane tech that Meteora has, which is the dynamic fee, which is
Absolutely.
really there to protect. And so when the volatility is high, you get the dynamic fee, which is higher, of course, and that's really the key. And people need to understand that. I think still a lot of people don't understand that the volatility makes a play in the dynamic fee. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it'll come, I guess. But yeah, but also on bigger plays. But sometimes on, I think, crime, you mentioned it. I saw in your video that now some pools which are 300K shitters are getting 100K TVL, and you're like, what is happening? So that's also been difficult sometimes to play, but because then you get diluted in liquidity in a 300K market cap meme coin that goes to zero. Well, less easier because of the liquidity that's there, but it's been hectic this month. March has been hard actually, but I mean, if you can now make money and be profitable in March, it means you have some skills. That's my opinion. But then you can, in any euphoric market, any easier market with bigger volume, I think that's well, you'll be successful.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this. This strategy, would it be called evil baguette?
Yeah, evil baguette. Evil baguette.
Evil baguette.
The strategy, the precise strategy, so is really looking for the volume. You look for the volume. I mean, they use kind of a tool. I think it's called like Fabric or something. And then they enter, but they don't do 90%. So they go for spot. They open approximately at the top, but of course, always opening a bit lower is always safer. So they go spot, soul only, and they do a full range. So when they mean full range is 70 bins maximum, and they wait, and then the volume is there. And it has to be a 5% or 10% pool. And then they wait 5 minutes maximum, and they exit with I don't know, when you are 4 or 5% in profits, it's good. So that they cut, and because this coin is going to die, so you just want 5 minutes. But before, they're also doing the due diligence. It's always, like I said, the surgeons, they're always going to the bubble map, the holder count, looking for the narrative. For example, if it's a KOL pushing the coin, if it's a KOL led coin, like it's a red flag, don't go for it. So you have to do it to get good at it. It's not simply looking at videos or stuff. You really have to try. So that's also a key concept that I think is important. Evil croissant.
I love the way you said evil croissant.
Evil croissant.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, dude. You're absolutely right on all of that. Token selection is so critical to that. But let me ask you this: how often do you use the damn V2?
Never.
Never.
I'm a DLMM guy, and
GLMM guy.
I never do DMMV2. I did once when it was, when the hype was there, and Sats Monkey, when he made his one soul to 21K in 6 minutes. I
Yeah.
tried. I did one big win where I did one soul to 5 soul. I was really happy, but then
Wow.
I could not go and open, I don't know, 100 positions to have one winning position. I was always the DLMM guy, and I'm gonna say like this.
Mhm.
Yeah. What was really cool is, and I mean, I'm not really a big damn V2 guy. I get in now and then. There was actually, let's see if I can find it. Somebody made an absolutely based play. Let me see if I can find it here really quick.
Was it the one that
I
was
think it was today.
like 10,000% or something?
Oh no, it was like millions, dude.
Oh, okay. I saw
it was-
something with it crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let me just pull this up right here.
So
Here we go.
I have like a hot take with these. I think that like people hit these crazy percentages, but if they used a little bit more like money, I don't think that they would get the same returns because like there's not enough volume coming in for someone to hit, like a 10,000% on like a one soul position. Like it has to be like 0.01 or something for them to get that much. It seems.
Right. Yeah. See, so yeah, I found it. Let me just drop this here on the screen. Um this is absolutely fucking bananas, dude.
6 million.
6 million%. Like
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
Yeah,
like
what the
dude
fuck?
barely put anything in and he just walked away with fat bank. That's just
It's so low that it doesn't even register how much soul he put in. It just
yeah.
says 0.
Yeah, it's like he put in like 0.001 or something, that's incredible. But I mean, Mads, props to you,
Yeah.
guy, for getting that. Congrats, absolutely congrats on that. And I'll ask this. I'll put this up. Someone actually couldn't attend our chat, but had a question that they put out there on Twitter for us, and so I'll just go ahead and drop it up here on the screen, share on screen. What are some tips for looking out for picking a token to dam, or is it treated like you would with the DLMM? I mean, me personally, I'm like, it's all about if it's a fresh one, that's whenever it makes the most sense. Like if it's absolutely running, but I don't know if you have any take on that one there.
I usually tell people when they're asking about the difference between them. I don't really do too many dams anymore, but back when I was like maybe this time last year, or no, not this time, but like June around last year, on top of DLMMing, I would also look at like new pairs. And if you find something that graduates or migrates, if it migrates and it has a ton of volume after migration or graduation, whatever you want to call it, that's where the dams are really good because they have really high. They charge really high fees. So if there's a bunch of volume coming in, it gives you opportunity for those dam pools to catch those transactions. Nowadays, I don't really look to do them. Just because I'm not really looking at new pairs as much anymore. And the new pairs, when they do graduate, typically are not getting a million in volume on the first hour. But like basically, I think dams are really. If we get another like hot meme coin market where things are graduating all the time, we're getting tons of volume. I think they're good to play on once the token migrates.
Yeah.
And when would you do it opposed to DLMM? Like I've seen a lot of people. I've never been good at this, but on the big token launches like Seeker, like Avicii and stuff, I saw people that got on those really early, like Easy Coin, I think too. All of those like big launches, if you're able to get in the dam very, very early, I think that's when the best risk reward is at, opposed to DLMM.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of projects that like to launch on the dam V2, you know, because they can configure that bonding curve. They can configure the, you know, the fee generation, whatever, make snipers pay. And, you know, so that'll start out as being the primary pool. Like when Huma launched, you know, the dam V2 was the primary pool. That's where it started. Absolutely great place to launch that stuff. Because, you know, even though it's not like the DLMM where, you know, you're concentrating your liquidity within certain bins, but they can concentrate that liquidity out there on the damn V2. You know, it's so configurable, a lot you can do with it. So yeah, but anyway, what else? Have we got any questions in chat? Anybody wants to ask something? We can, you know, maybe you've got the master of the French community right here, or and crime myself. You got any questions at all? Just let us know. Drop it in the chat, and we'll do our best to answer it.
Yeah. It's crazy. I think Tiago was one of like the first. We haven't like talked that much, but back when it first started, me and Tiago were both in Razor's DLMM chat, and he was like one of the first ones that like he was one of the people in the chat that was like sending stuff every day, and like you could tell like knew what was going on. But back then it was like
this chat
felt like
I
a small
remember.
felt like a small community back then, just in terms of all Meteora users.
It was so niche at the point. Like at that time, it was, but it was so good. I mean, the fees at that moment were crazy.
So crazy, so crazy.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, I watched one of my videos where I started the content with the 1 to 10 soul challenge, and I went back to watch one of them, like the first one or second one, and I saw a coin I was DLMMing, and the volume, I was like, there's no way this is real. Like it was, I don't know, like 100 millions 6 hours time or something like this. Wow. And like it was crazy. And the TVL, you look on the pool, the TVL was what, 50k, it's 40k with a 100 million pool, like 100 million volume. Like come on, like it was yeah much easier.
Make bank. And you know, like I remember meeting Tiago like way back then when we first were doing like boot camp translations, and the French community was one of the very first to do it. And he was an instructor back then, and just absolutely amazing. So mad respect for you, brother. But we actually do have a couple questions out here now. So how early to a token do you like to be? What do you look out for?
Whoever wants to start.
Who wants to take it?
You guys,
I think we should get Tiago. I think we should get Tiago's input.
Okay. Well, for me, it's really easy. How early on the tokens you like to be? I always enter at the top when there is volume. So I'm a really bad trader. I'm usually, the original top blaster. So that's why I'm also doing DLMMs and not trying to snipe a coin or be as early as possible to then sell at the top. I like to enter at the top when there is volume. Then I wait for a correction. And usually if you select your coin in the right way, looking at the bundling, the holdings, narrative, there should be, after a correction, a rebound. And I just exit on the rebound. And then I never look at the coin again. And if it goes to the all-time high, then I would re-enter again. But that's my strategy. That's been working, and it's still working.
Nice.
Harder now, but it's still working. So that's how early I like to be. So not early at all.
Yeah. Well, and that leads into this next question. What's your guys' favorite strategy to employ? And, me answering like how early, I really like to see at least 100K market cap, but it's like, and what strategy, it all depends on like, what's it doing? If this thing is up only, I might try a two-sided A-bin. Of course, the A-bin only works if the bins are paid. So if you would need to pay for bins, the ape in will fail every time, and that's by design. But sometimes I'll do that. But almost every time that I do an ape in, I always open a one-sided bid ask, and I'm going wide, right? Because it's like, okay, if I get screwed up here, I've got something down here to help me out, or I'll even like take the fees for both positions and throw it in that top one. But at the same time, it's like maybe I missed whenever it first launched, then I'm going to switch. And lately, I used to do a lot of wide spot, like Evil Panda or whatever. But I've been doing more like pure bid ask with just a little bit of spot thrown in there, just earn fees while it's because sometimes it only stays in that very top part of the range, and I don't have the patience or wanting to watch it. So I just like, yeah, whatever. I'll throw a little bit in there. What about you, Crime? What's your favorite strategy to employ? Bid ask?
Yeah, I still am mostly going bid ask. The spot, I think what Tiago's doing is very, very similar to how I play stuff, though, especially the coins that are like high volume. You don't really believe in them. You're just kind of playing it because it's like what's going on right now. But yes, I also kind of chase it up. Sometimes I don't always bid the top, but like usually I start my range and go really low. And then as it goes down, one bounce, and if I'm happy with the profit on the bounce, I get out. But yeah, mostly bid ask and some spot mixed in, but very wide as well.
Bid ask is so underrated. I mean, it's like I love it also, and I've been doing it more because sometimes with spots and really volatile meme coins doing the Evil Panda, you can get really, really wrecked even if you open so wide. But doing the bid ask really, really counters the impermanent loss more, and usually is always a good idea. So when I see a coin that's a bit riskier for some reason, bundling is a bit higher or holder count is lower, I always say, okay, let's put a bid ask. Or otherwise, I do like you, Heavy. I put some base. I call it a base of spot. Like this, we can print in the top of the range still, and rest on bid ask. Like sometimes 30% spot, 70% bid ask. Or if I really want to do more, like 50% spot, 50% bid ask is also. But that's also it's increasing the risk. But I like pure bid ask also. It's great. It really depends on the risk profile you want to apply.
Right.
So
yeah. I'm bid asking this beer right now. So
yeah.
Catching the bottom.
Here's another question. What is your liquidity slippage for entering and withdrawing your position? I ask because zapping out fails from time to time. So liquidity slippage has nothing to do with the withdrawal at all. Liquidity slippage is only for whenever you're depositing. So it's, the idea is like, okay, you define your range, say 0 at the top and negative 80 at the bottom, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You go and you click, okay, add liquidity, and the transaction is going through. That slippage is how much percentage, like, so if the price moves beyond whatever amount you've defined, the transaction will fail, right? And that's just to like prevent you from putting in liquidity here whenever the token rug down to here. So that's what that is. A lot of people like don't care, right? So like I'm just trying to get in bid ask because I want to eat that dump, right? And so I may set my liquidity slippage kind of high. And I actually haven't checked in a while. Let's see what I actually have mine set to. I have mine set to 10% currently. I know people who go 50%. Some people do much less with that. But when it comes to zapping out, I want to say the swap slippage actually happens, is the setting that you're looking for. So you might increase the swap slippage setting on Meteora. And I wonder if I have an open position that I can.
It's funny because I never saw that there was a zap out swap slippage, and I just saw it now, and I was wondering, my zap outs fail quite a lot, and it was at 0.4%. So now I'm going to increase it a bit. That's why.
Yeah. Right. And yeah, I'm looking here at the zap out. I'm gonna go to the gear settings here. Yeah, zap out. Yes, zap out swap slippage. So the default is 0.4%. And so if you are having trouble getting that done, and I'll just show it on the screen here just to make it easier for everybody. Let's see. I think it's this one right here. Yeah. So this is the setting that we're talking about. You go up to the gear at the top, and you go to zap out, and so you can see here. This is where you're defining your swap slippage. So if you're having trouble landing on that, just make that change and see if that helps you out there. So yeah, it's cool. Let's see. Where are we at with the questions? I think we're like way behind.
A little bit.
Here. Where did they go?
We have Crypto Jones next.
Okay. Can we take a look at perk? I'd like to hear the panel slots process on a new token like that. You know, I saw perk earlier, and I saw in the chat people were like mega skim.
I'm looking at the Twitter right now. The chart itself, I don't know. I'm probably not going to play it just because I haven't done the appropriate research yet. And it's kind of one of those charts that's like up only at this point.
Well, top 10 holders hold 44%.
That's not super ideal.
No, that's like a British way of saying that. You're like, that's not ideal. that's like danger. Stay the hell out of that thing, man.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I mean, I will admit that I got into that one, and it looks like I made about $8 before I got the hell out, because I only did it for a couple minutes, and it was like, nope, this is too sketchy. So I jumped out of that one. Here's one that I think you answer a lot. Crime, you know, what you do with your out of range and already down bad. I think that one we've established is you just cut the loss. I'd like to hear Tia
That's
go.
what I do. Yeah, I'd like to hear what he says too.
What do you do?
Yeah, so I try to avoid it, and I'm usually like, because I always do almost always 90% ranges. It's really rare that it goes out of range to the 90%, because yeah, if it's 90% out of range, well, it's a big chance it's a complete rug, you know.
Yeah.
So it's happened, and if it's a complete rug, I just cut the loss and I take it like a man. But it happens sometimes that I do not accept the loss. I'm like, no, come on. I take out the tokens and I put them in a huge bid ask to the top, like 1000%. And when I get a little bit back, but I'm not too greedy. I'm like, okay, let's just wait a bit and let's put a percentage, and then I take it off. But yeah, usually the short answer is I cut the loss as well. But I never try to revenge trade. Never. Like, that's really the rule I set myself. Never try to revenge trade.
Yeah, it's always a bad idea. And I mean, to me, it depends on what the token is. There's plenty of times whenever I'm like, just wait. I mean, I think Punch was a great example. I sat down out of range for 3 days sweating that token. And I waited 3 days. I held the line. I didn't do anything to my position, and then got this massive pump, and I made like $2,100 off of it. So it all just depends, right? But that token had a great narrative.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the bigger loss, and what's the lesson you learned from it? I'm saying that directly from what Hector wrote here. What's the bigger loss? I'm not sure what he means.
Yeah, I think your biggest loss ever. I think that's the question, maybe.
Yeah, so he's trying to dig up. So my biggest loss ever was actually on Ethereum chain.
We're talking all-time biggest loss.
I lost $35,000 on one token on Ethereum. So But yeah.
I think. Sorry, Tiago, you want to go?
No. Go ahead. I was still thinking.
I have taken. I took a big loss on 7 recently. That was like 6.6 Solana, which is big for my wallet. That was a big loss. I think the biggest loss I've taken on this wallet was like 8 to 10 Sol. And one of them was on Kekius Maximus. I actually remember that. It was the Elon thing, and I was in it, and I think he changed his profile picture or something, and like instantly rugged, and I was like,
Elon coins are like ruthless.
yeah,
Like really, now I'm avoiding completely the Elon coins. That's
me too.
Yeah.
So I learned that lesson, and I just cut the loss and didn't play another Elon profile picture token. But it still happens. I still take pretty bad losses, to be honest, and you just have to try to minimize them as much as you can.
Yeah, I'm thinking about 2 losses. I had like there was one on Melania coin when they launched it, and Meteora and Solana got taken down, so I could not withdraw anything, and I was live. I remember with the French community, but I think I don't have the clips anymore. But our reaction were so funny. We were like in front of the screen, like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, what do we do now? We're in position. We can't withdraw. No one could withdraw. So that was a big loss, I think. But recently, I think I had a big loss. I don't even remember the coin. It was a 300, 200K market cap shit coin. And the dumbest idea was like, oh, I'm going to sleep on it and it's going to stay overnight. But this has been like, this was 3 weeks ago. And that was the last time I did overnights. And I said, okay, now my rule is I'm never doing overnight again, because the coin dumped 80%. So it was, I think, a 10 Sol position, which was big. And I lost 8 Sol. So 80% loss. Bam, like this. And I said, okay, I'm not doing overnight anymore. But yeah, it was almost 1 week, 2 weeks of profits gone in one position, which is always so hard to take.
It is.
Yeah. It's more about, like, for me, always on this account, because I mean, we trade with decent amounts of money, but it's not like life-changing amounts of money, like losing 8 Sol or something. But when you're DLMMing and trying to grow a portfolio, it's about the time that you lose.
Yeah,
like,
the effort.
It's like 2 weeks of 40 different positions wiped out in one trade. Yeah. And like, it happens and it sucks and you just have to avoid it. But yeah, for me, it's always about like the time. I'm like, so much effort went into getting to this point and I wiped it out in one trade. So
yeah.
So here's another question. When the volume will tell you that you must buy the token in case where the token's still pumping or is not an option?
I think he's talking about the autofill.
Okay.
When the volume will tell you that you need /must buy to token. Right. Oh, you're good. In case where this token's still pumping. I think most of our strategies do not involve really buying the token. So there's not really any scenario where I think we're buying the token. If it's telling you need to buy the token, it's probably because you have autofill enabled on Meteora. Anyone else want to try to decipher that one?
I don't know what he meant. Maybe like when there's a good indication of volume, would you buy tokens? Just buy it? I understood it like this, but my answer would be I never buy tokens. I just enter with Solana. That's simple answer.
I don't ever go out and directly buy a token. Now I will admit that I do use the ape-in feature sometimes. Like if I see something that it's pumping and I think it's only going up for a bit, I think it's going to get there, I'll do a small ape-in. I'm talking 2-3 Sol. Usually I'll do a 2-sided ape-in. And I'm not even looking for it to go all the way out of the range. I'll see it move up just a little bit. And I'm like, cool, close, exit, sell the rest, done. Maybe I'm only in there for a couple minutes, but it's like profit. That being said, sometimes it's like the moment I ape in is right when that chart turns right around and goes back down. It's like they knew.
But buying token is like just so much more similar to trading, and I try to avoid it. And I think most of us we use
True.
Meteora because we have a real edge with Meteora, and we try to avoid doing this buy low, sell high.
Yep.
And I'm really really shit at it. And so I every time I did it, I was losing money. So I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah. I think this gets answered a lot. How, when do you decide to close a position and take loss? I mean, for me, a lot of times it's just like, this is absolutely going to zero. It's like sub 50K. It's gone. Sometimes out of range is whenever I'll do it, or if I just like I'm watching this and I was like, this is not going to bounce. Get out now. Um, but I probably have more patience than the other two guys here, because I will hold shit sometimes, and it pays off sometimes. But again, a lot of it has to do with the narrative of like what's going on. But Tiago, feel free to go ahead and answer that too if you'd like.
Yeah, so I'm always big range, so 90%. It's difficult to cut a loss in such a big range because it depends on the fees. Sometimes you can be like at minus 75%, but the fees are so good that you're not even down that bad. And I see like when I say not too down bad, it's minus 10%, but it's still crazy to me that the token can dump 75%, but then you're only down at 10% of loss. And I don't know. I always wait for the rebound. I always wait for the rebound for exiting, even if the rebound is bad. But because if the coin is selected right, there will be a rebound, and I always wait for this rebound to exit and minimize the loss. And when I see this rebound, and I use the indicators that are quite useful, the RSI, the Bollinger Bands also. And I also look now at KOLs selling or entering. I think it can give sometimes a good indication, but I always wait. And this usually minimizes my loss. But sometimes the rebound, even the Evil Panda indicators, gives a negative entry, a negative profit sometimes. But that's when the fees are not good enough. And maybe the coin was not selected right. So it's a hard question, but I don't have a number, when it reaches 20, 25%, I cut it. It's more also a bit of a feeling, and you get the feeling the more you DLMM. So that's
Yeah. Well, and like here's how it says: do you cut a position if it drops quickly, even if it's in range of struggling with cutting losses early? And like you, back to what you were saying, there's usually at least some little bit of bounce, even on like the absolute, just like it's one clipping. Usually, there's just that small little bit of bounce, and it's the traders out there. They might be revenge trading or doing whatever, right? And if you've set up correctly, you ate a whole bunch of fees on the way down. If you're set up right, sometimes all you need is that one little bounce,
Yeah.
to get out. It's like this thing is obviously rugging, but there's gonna be a tiny dead cut bounce, whatever you want to call it, that it may be all that you needed to get profit. And this is something that I think where a lot of people fail to execute the profit on that is they'll get greedy. They're like, oh, just a little bit more. Just a little bit more, just a little bit more, and then psh, it's dead again.
Yep.
And then it's like, I could have had, 0.2 soul profit, and now I've got like -3 soul again. It's like, fuck. So don't get greedy.
Small profits day by day, and yeah, you'll accumulate more than you can imagine. And just try to avoid the loss. And not DLMMing sometimes is the better option. Keeping your capital safe. So that's also something I'm trying to put myself more to. A day where I don't lose money, I celebrate it like a win day.
Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, a lot of croissants and baguettes in chat today. It's ice.
Can I put in on the losses, the cutting the losses real quick?
Yeah.
Um, I just saw this one. Do you cut a position if it drops quickly, even if it's range? Again, I'd agree with Tiago here. Like, I'm usually waiting for some sort of bounce, but there are cases, and then I think most of you guys know I usually just cut the loss when it goes out of range. But there are cases like for 7, for example, if I was actually monitoring that token, and I got the info that the story was fake, even if I had like a lot more in range. Like as soon as I hear something like that really fuds the token or makes it not a good narrative anymore, like that's a good time to get out regardless of the loss. So like if there's information on the token that makes it worse, then you want to get out before that happens, but usually waiting till it gets out of range or a bounce.
Right. Yeah.
Totally agree.
So yeah, it's just like this comment: needs a little experience. Burnt hands don't touch hot pan anymore.
I still touch the hot pans.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Narco, he's got French fries, burger. I don't think all that's French food, brother. But yeah,
They call it French fries, but in Belgium we have better fries than the French, And
Yeah?
it's bad that we call them French fries. We should call them Belgian fries because we cook them with the beef fat, and these make a difference, and it's so much better. We make better fries in Belgium than in France, and I don't care if anyone has another opinion. I'm Belgian, and I'm proud of the Belgian fries.
Yeah, man. Hey, and that was like that fun fact. McDonald's, long ago they started out making their fries in beef tallow. Now, whatever, you can like McDonald's, not like McDonald's, but they were very famous for their fries, and the reason why they were so famous, why they were so good and popular, is because they were cooking in the beef tallow. And then some people convinced the world that beef tallow was bad for you, and let's go and use these, blah 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 oils, and say they started doing that, and the flavor went down, and it wasn't actually healthier for you. Now you see this push back into using beef tallow because it's natural, it's tasty, and it's not all that bad for you. I mean, is French fries health food? No, but
yeah. It makes such a difference, the beef tallow. Like it's you taste it directly, and the real Belgian fries, they cook it 2 times. So they cook it once to cook the inside, and then they take it out. They wait a bit, like 2 minutes, then they put it back in for the crispiness, and that's really the secret. And the people they don't know that. They just think you put the fries in, you let them, and then it's just it's not as good. You want the perfect inside, the mush, and then the crispy outside.
That's actually how I do it whenever I cook at home. When I make my own fries, potatoes.
But you're almost Belgian, Heavy. You're almost Belgian. Like you live in Texas, but you have all the Belgian attributes. So
man, I can't wait to come to Belgium, get an Abbey tour, man. I'm in.
I would be so happy to welcome you here. Like really,
I would love it too, dude. Yeah. Oh, some mayonnaise to dip. Yeah. Hell yeah. Pommes frites.
Pommes frites, yeah.
Pommes frites. I don't have a good French accent, man.
Yeah.
Very Texan. Yeehaw. Well, guys, it has been a little bit over an hour, and Tiago, I'm so happy that you joined us today, dude.
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you again for having me.
Yeah.
Love these talks, and it's always so interesting. And
right on, man. Well, again, you guys, if you are not familiar, go check him out. Follow him on X. Follow the Meteora French. Especially if you speak French. If you don't, I don't know. Maybe he'll have subtitles for you guys. But they're DLMing, they're live streaming, they're kicking ass and doing so good. And we appreciate what you do for the community. And growing that French community. You guys are simply amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, we just passed 1,000 followers on X today, so really, really happy. We'll try to make an effort to try and translate, because I'm getting more and more requests in DMs or in the comments, on the lives. Please translate, because I think people are genuinely interested about what you say. So I think we'll make an effort to try and put subtitles. And yeah, just make sure to follow, and thank you again so much. And of course, I think we're cooking also maybe an LP Army Academy in French. I don't know. I've heard some noise, background noise. Something's
yeah.
coming, maybe. But yeah, that's something I've heard, and let's see.
Yeah, well, it's coming in. So, I mean, I'll go ahead and do that. Chill. We've been doing a complete revamp, a total overhaul of the LP Academy. It's not just like a completely new course, updated, with everything out there, because we've been listening to a lot of feedback, and we're changing and adding to this course. We're adding so much bonus content and all this. We're going to change how you graduate. It's going to be you'll go out there, you'll take the test, and you'll get immediate feedback, immediate graduation results, immediate role granting in the LP Army Discord. All that's going to be so automated, and it's going to be so amazing. And like we're just shipping that, and as soon as that's done, man, we are going to be hitting out all of our regional units, translations, all of that. It's going to be really incredible. We're so close to getting that finished. Look at that. You got some tips so it's like LPing and cooking tips. Follow Tia Go. Yeah,
Fries tips, yeah.
Yeah, Win Fries Academy, right? Right on. Merci. Okay. So, all right. Last one. What are you guys doing when you're not using your Sol or USDC? Well, I'm always using it, but I have been known to drop some of it into Jupiter Lend before. Just try that out. I mean, I'm not getting rich over there, but a few bucks is more than $0. What about you guys?
Go ahead.
I'm honestly like not super like DeFi knowledgeable. I think people with better DeFi knowledge could give you a better answer. I stake some of it. I stake Sol. I don't really do anything with USDC, to be honest. I probably should be.
I mean, that's solid choice, staking it. And you said something that actually gives me a great segue. You said you're not that knowledgeable in a lot of the other DeFi. Jupiter just shipped their own Jupiter Academy out there. So courses on all kinds of their products. So if you guys out there want to learn more about all kinds of things, I have not taken the course because I'm busy building my own, but perps and land and all these things, they have stuff out there. You guys go and check out Jupiter Academy. So there's that, but yeah.
Tiago?
I do I keep a big part of my Sol for DLMMs, and because I want to big a bag of Sol to build this bag of Sol, because I believe in the future Sol will come back up, because I really believe in Solana. So I usually hold it, but some of it I also buy some big tokens or Bitcoin. So I do some DCA in Bitcoin on Meteora. Also do a lot of hype USDC. This pool has been really, really nice. The token, I think it's almost 0.3% daily. So this is great. But of course, the range is also quite concentrated, but it's been going great because I think Hyperliquid is also a big DeFi play that I love. Apart from that, it's mainly trading, but they have vaults also that give some nice returns. And I put some of my bag there, but not the biggest. But that's mainly what I do. I'm not a lending, borrowing kind of guy. I hate to then I borrow and then I have to give back the money in DeFi. I'm not this kind of guy. But mainly Meteora and some basic vaults on Hyperliquid. That's what I do.
Bro. Any final thoughts, guys? Crime? You got anything else?
Not really. I think we went over most of the things that happened this week.
Yep.
Some of the newer tokens, White Whale drama. I saw Punch kind of came back, but that's about it.
Yep.
That's all I got.
Cool, man. Well, thank you again to Go for joining us today, being our guest and sharing your insights and all of that. And so next Sunday is Easter Sunday. So we're probably going to stream on Saturday instead, probably about the same time, 5 p.m. UTC. Watch out for that. I am going to try and get a very, very big guest from Jupiter themselves. So watch out for that. Tune in. It should be cool, a good session. Appreciate, again, everybody in chat. Share with your friends, like, subscribe, all that good, fun stuff. And we will end the stream today with one of the songs off of my Met Dobby album. Hope you guys enjoy it. And again, thanks for joining us. And rock on.
Thanks,
Merci.
Thiago.
Bye, guys. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.
Beneath the desert sky so wide, a million voices side by side, dust in the air but fire in the heart, scattered souls now a work of art. We build, we break, we rise, we fall, one by one we're entering the cold echoes of Meteora. We gather, we climb from every corner, crossing time, strategy shared, lessons unfold, together unbroken, strong and bold. Strong. Maps and plans drawn on the sand, guided by voices, hand in hand, a symphony of strangers now aligned in rhythm and purpose, hearts combined, falling forward, standing tall. A single spark ignites us all. The storm we weather, the ties we weave, the bond of strength in this we believe.